Hi everybody, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are having a great day today. So today I'm out here in my car and I have a little bit of time, and I thought that we could go over and start talking about those topics that we had talked about in the community tab. And so what those topics are going to be are time or time poverty, manifestation, and non-duality or the illusion specifically. So if you're not familiar with the community tab, it's a tab under the channel page. So if you go to School of Scarlet page, you can go on there and go to the different tabs. One of the tabs is titled community. If you click on that tab, you can see on there different things that I post. It's almost like a Facebook feed. So I'll post on there sometimes like a quote that I created, or a post around something that I want to share with y'all, or pictures or motivational type stuff. Or sometimes I'll post like upcoming videos or the video itself that I'm just sharing. And so this last post that I posted on there was a picture of myself and my brand new 32-foot boat that I manifested. And so we were out there at the outlaw races, and so that was a picture of that time. And so what I also wanted to introduce to you, not just the community tab, is the new memberships that are now available. So just like a subscription to the channel allows you like access to all the videos and just notifications of when they come out, and you're able to see everything in the community tab, that still remains. So if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. You still get access to all your videos and everything like you have been. But in addition to that, if you are interested in having some more additional videos, I have an offering for y'all through memberships. So YouTube memberships is now going to be a button next to my channel name, kind of like right where you click to subscribe, there's going to be a button that just says join. And under that button join, it offers different memberships, and those memberships allow you access to different things within the channel. And this is really amazing for y'all that maybe have missed out on the course, or maybe are not so sure about doing one-on-one sessions yet, or those sorts of things. This allows you more access and having more of that personalized sort of feel to it, like you would in a course or on a one-on-one session. So what I'm offering in my memberships is 4 exclusive videos just made specifically for you. And actually these videos were made specifically for you in mind, and using some people that I was doing one-on-one sessions with to kind of trial and error these different videos with. So these are I would call them coaching videos, but they're almost as good as a course. Like each video has its own teaching or different skill or technique you get out of it. So you get 4 of those per month, and that is ongoing. And then with that, you also get access to live streaming YouTubes with myself and then those in the community that are in the memberships. And so it'll be a place where we can kind of talk and bounce ideas off each other and kind of open up and explore those different topics that are in those 4 exclusive videos. So basically you're getting 4 coaching videos and then exclusive coaching in a container of like-minded individuals. So you get the live sessions. You also get access to all the pictures and stories around manifestation, because it's a very exciting time. I've already manifested the actual tangible money, so now I'm in the stages of spending the manifestation wealth. So I'd like to share that with y'all, but at the same time it is going to be in the membership area, because I will be sharing a lot of more personal things that I'm actually like purchasing and investing and working on and things like that. So a lot more personal things. So those sorts of personal things and, you know, more exclusive things will be in the membership, and everything else that's just more of the videos that you're more used to with YouTube, that all continues for y'all subscribers. So don't worry, you still get all that. The membership allows you more of a coaching opportunity at a much cheaper price, and also allows you access to a lot of more manifestation type content and things along that line. So if you are interested in that, please go down there and click the join button so you can see what memberships are available to you, and I would love to have you as a member. So please go ahead and start joining in there, because we're going to start with all of our coaching and different things in that container, and it's going to be very exciting. So that is available for y'all now. So getting back to what we were talking about with time poverty. time poverty is something that is actually just as much a problem as it's all tied into abundance. So it's a lack of feeling that you have abundance. So usually in abundance, we think in terms of money. But it's not just money. You can be lacking and you could have poor relationships. You could have a poor relationship with money. You could have a poor relationship with your children. You know, there could be many different areas that you have this lack, right? So it's not just abundance meaning equal to money. It could be a lacking or abundance in a lot of various areas. So one of those areas is time. And so for some of us, it happens that there is this kind of lack of time, feeling like you don't have enough time in the day to do everything that you need to do in that time. And I can talk about this because I know exactly what that's like. I pretty much lived the majority of my adult life in that stage of not having enough time. So that is just something that's very typical, especially in countries that are more developed, like the United States and some other countries that are now very active and they have a lot of business. And you know, countries that are more developed, they have a lot more business, they have a lot more jobs, they have a lot more people working in these kind of very competitive type situations, these capitalist type situations. So there's nothing wrong with that, but what ends up happening is that it leads to a lot of burnout. You know, the typical work day is 8 hours, and the majority of Americans, I think they've done a poll, a psychological poll, and in that poll they found that 50% of Americans are feeling overworked and like they don't have enough time. So that's 50%. Half of the population really feels that they don't have enough time. And the thing that I really want to focus on is that that is actually an illusion. So the illusion, the grand illusion, is that you're not here. It's just all happening. Everything is an illusion, just like we're an appearance, you know, against a movie screen, or let's say it was a rainbow projecting. You know, it's an illusion. So in the grand scheme of things, this is an illusion. But if we even focus in a little bit into this illusion that feels so real to us, there are illusions within the illusions. And one of those is the illusion of time, because we know that time is relative. So, you know, Einstein was one of the first to really to make this, you know, known that time is relative. So many people have maybe experienced sometimes time is going a little faster, a little slower, or, you know, they've noticed strange things with time. Einstein was the first to really scientifically look at this and get it out there to the mainstream people. So time is now recognized to be relative, okay? And it is seen that if you just study a little bit of what Einstein talked about of time, space, you can really get to understand how this reality is kind of functioning in terms of time. So, and I've made other videos on that, so I'm not going to go very much into that. I'll link those videos in my description box below. And I talk about time as literally just being like a piece of cake. And so you can cut different pieces or slices of cake. And so if we slice a piece of cake, and so we have that piece of cake here on our plate, that slice of cake is just the sliver of time that we're experiencing now, that I'm experiencing at this time. But really the whole cake is in existence. It's just that I just sliced that piece right at this moment, but the whole cake is in existence right at this moment as well. It's not different or like apart from it or happening really at a different time. It's all here and now. So that's just a very kind of simple, overglazed explanation of time, but I will list that video down below, and that one will give you a little bit more detail about time. But essentially what I'd like to share is that time essentially is the same thing as money or anything else. Within the illusion, all illusions are illusions. So whether it's money or time, one is not greater or grander than the other, or better or harder to manifest, or less harder to manifest than the other. Everything is the same. So if I wanted to manifest billions of dollars as opposed to manifesting 10 cents, it's all the same in terms of the universe. The universe is going to say yes to it all. But so it doesn't matter. One is not harder to manifest than the other. They're all the same. So time and money essentially are the same thing. So we're using the same principles to manifest more time. So if you're feeling like a lack of time, then you're going to focus on manifesting time just like you would manifest money. So one of the things that we talked about earlier on in the videos about manifesting is really kind of getting into that mindset of I am, really speaking the spoken word of what it is that you want as if you have it now. So I have abundant time. I have lots of time. I have plenty of time to do all my work. I can do all my hobbies. I am free to do I have plenty of time to spend with my family. I have plenty of time to spend with friends. I have plenty of time to relax. I have plenty of time for self-care. I am time. I control time. I am time. So one of the things you want to really recognize is that time is you. So you are in direct connection to literally everything, whether that's money, whether that's time. You have a direct source, direct line of connection to this to really have as much of it as you want. Because what you are is everything. You've recognized that, and then you recognize that you are everything in this so-called relative existence. So if you are everything, you have the power and the ability to move with these things, and these things have the ability to move alongside you. They're in relationship with you. So when you give it the love or the unconditional love that I talk about in my courses, it all works with you, and it's, all alchemizing and working in tune to give you whatever you want, whatever experience, however much time you want, however much money you want. You have a direct line connection to whatever it is that you want. So that's first. You have to really recognize that you are that. You are time. And really speaking that over yourself in the spoken word is one of the main ways to really activate that within yourself. It's not that you're doing this. This is already here and now. As soon as those words are spoken, they're just already happening, but they've already been happening. They're already here and now. So that's just one way to kind of get into that space, but that space is already happening. So it's not that you really have to do anything or the universe has to do anything. You just have to recognize that. That's all you have to do. You have to claim it. And when you claim it, it's there. But it's always there. It's just whether or not you're in tune with it. Are you in line with it? Are you in the timeline with it? Are you somewhere else? Are you believing that you're not time? Are you believing that you don't have time? Most people believe that they don't have time. Most people walk around speaking the opposite mantras of, I just don't have enough time for anything. There's not enough time in the day. I can't find time anywhere to do things. I'm so exhausted. I don't have time for myself. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. So you will hear these mantras over and over again. Maybe you hear them in yourself. Maybe you hear them in those around you. But those mantras are literally speaking to the universe that that's what you want. And the universe says yes to everything, whether it's so-called negative or positive. It's going to say yes to it. So if that's your mantra, then that's what you get. Whereas you could be speaking, like I say, the other examples that I just said. I am time. I have lots of time. I have plenty of time to do everything I want in my day. So just to give you an example, I used to really struggle with time, not having enough time. I've always been a working mother, so that's one of the biggest struggles that I've dealt with is with time. Having enough time to go to work and still having enough time for my family, for having enough time for my daughter, having enough time for my husband, my animals, my home, keeping the home clean, all of those things, while still trying to have enough time for myself, my own self-care, my own hobbies, my own nourishing things that I need to do for myself, all within these 24 hours that are really cut in half to 12, and then even cut shorter to whatever, maybe a few hours, because really a whole lot of those hours may go to work. And so that's where I found myself, is literally never having enough time for anything. And I lived that way for so long, and it was very frustrating because as soon as I would give more time to one area in my life, all the other areas of my life would suffer. So there was really, truly, it didn't seem like there was enough time. So if you had asked me, I would have told you there's literally not enough time. I've done time management. I've really worked with my calendar, my planner, trying to optimize all of this. And this is the best I can do. And that's how I felt. But come to find out, now working with manifestation, now this didn't come from the non-dual awakening. Now with the non-dual awakening, yes, I felt like I had lots of choice. I felt like I had lots of freedom. So if I wanted to spend my time, just playing outside with the horses, then I could do that all day, because I felt a lot more freedom to do that. Whereas before I felt a lot more guilt and shame and stuff like that prior to the non-dual awakening, when you have so many inner voices really controlling the game. So that did change. I felt a lot freer. So I was appearing to do more things, but I still had just the amount of time that I had. So when I began to manifest money, through, working with abundance and really tapping into the direct line that I have to that, it became clear to me that this whole thing with abundance and being tapped into literally this kind of creator consciousness is it goes into every area of life. It's not just money. So the same way that you manifest money, or the same way that you work with abundance in that way, you work with abundance in relationship to time, in relationship to your family relationships, in relationship to your work, in relationship to your whatever, it's all the same mechanisms and techniques. So I began to apply that to time. And one of the reasons that I began to really open up to the fact that you can actually manifest more time, or the appearance of having time, is because when I was in my twin flame journey, when I was with my twin flame, when we were in the physical together, we would get together and we really only had, let's say, 6 hours in the day to be together. That was kind of like our work time. And in those 6 hours, you would not believe the stuff that we did and the distances that we were able to travel. Literally, it made no sense. So we were obviously bending time and maybe going through wormholes, so when you go through wormholes and things like that, it kind of like, you go in through one space and it spits you out another, but it could be in like a whole nother city. It could be in a whole nother state. It could be, it doesn't make sense. It's like it defies time. But when it's happening, it feels completely normal, okay? But then after the fact, when it's done, like at the end of those 6 hours, when I went home for the day and I started thinking about everything that, had happened, where we had gone, what had happened, it didn't make sense. There was like way more time than the time that I actually had. These 6 hours extended to like days. So 6 hours equal days. So with manifestation, the same thing began to happen with manifesting money. What you usually would earn, let's say in a year, I was earning in like an hour. What you would earn in a lifetime, I was earning within a month. So like things like that, the time would begin to speed up so quickly, even within manifestation. So it was really like going through wormholes again. And that's why I kind of made a video about manifesting through wormholes. So if you're interested in that, go back and watch that. It really seems that you can manifest and come out a different spot, and so much time, it seems like so much time would have passed to get those results, but you didn't have to have that time pass. Nobody's noticed any time passed. So it's very interesting. So there is no time poverty. You can actually manifest lots of time. So if you have the mindset that there is a lot of time and you are in the space of joy and happiness and excitement about your, let's say your projects, let's say you're working and you're very excited about the projects and things you're working on, or you're writing a book, or you're painting, or you're doing creative features, you get very excited in that, and time begins to kind of speed up, or sometimes it slows down depending on what you want. If you're really trying to focus on something and gain more time, really it seems like the universe allows for more time to happen. So when I'm working on a book, or I'm writing a post, or I'm writing something that could take more time begins to slow down, and I'm able to focus more, and time goes by slower, and like there's no anxieties about time going by. It's very slow, and it's at the pace of everything that's happening. Okay. So then, and then as opposed to that, when I'm very excited and happy, and let's say I've written the book and I've put it away, and I put that away, and now I'm like with my family, sometimes time begins to go very quickly, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's the end of the day, but you've had a beautiful day. And yes, time sped up, but you had a beautiful day. So sometimes that can happen, so you're not always going to have like a ton of time, but if you want a ton of time, you can have it. All you have to do is get into that mindset of having that time and really acting like you have that time. So the other thing I do is, like, for example, when I'm in my car and let's say I'm late to something, so I'm late to go pick up my daughter from school, or I have her with me and we're late to go to something, and I can kind of tell that we're late just by looking at the clock. I try not to focus on the clock. I don't look at it again. All I do is try to act like I have plenty of time. So I drive calmly and carefully, and I turn on the radio and I enjoy it, and I really try to make sure that nobody else is really freaking out about it. And guess what? Every time now I get everywhere on time, even though I've literally pretty much been late leaving my house. I take my time, I don't stress, and I get there on time. Other thing that's happened is I used to only really be able to like work, and that was my main time to like really do my whatever I wanted to do. So that was work. Well, now I can work. I can do things at home. I can do my hobbies. I can do my other business ventures and things like that. So I'm basically doing what I figured was like 3 people's jobs in one. Whereas before I could hardly do one job, and that was hard enough. So the time just multiplies and your energy multiplies with this. But it's about having the mindset that you have it. It's about having the mindset that you already have the time, that you already have the energy, and that it's just there, and it's there for you, waiting for you for when you want it. So I don't have the mindset of that there is no time. I have the mindset of I am time, and time is there for me, and when I want time, I go to time and I spend time there in time, and time waits for me or goes faster or does whatever it needs to do at the pace that I need it. So it just does that. It just does that. So just like manifesting money, you basically have to be in the mindset that you have the money here and now, and already acting like you have it. You have to be at the level of already having it to have it. It's a perfect match. Well, same thing for this, having lots of time. You have to be in the mindset of you have a lot of time. And when you're in the mindset of I have a lot of time is here. So whatever you want is just going to mirror. It's just a reflection of what you actually believe. And so the same thing goes with time. But the interesting thing about time is it's very flexible. It can give you more time, it can give you less time depending on what you want. But with manifesting, you can actually manifest bypassing time. You could bypass time and end up in different areas having whatever you've manifested way quicker than you could have ever had it in this time frame. So if you are interested in knowing about manifesting and those things that I've manifested, that I would literally tell you, it would take me a lifetime to get some of these things, and I've manifested them within the time frame of 2 months. I have now the stories and everything to show all of that. So if you are interested in that, I would really recommend that you join memberships, because memberships is where I will share that. Some people don't like to see everything that somebody's manifested. Some people get triggered by it. And so I'm going to leave that stuff for my members and people that are interested in actually seeing that. So if you're in the membership, then you're open to seeing that, and that will be part of it, in addition to the 4 coaching calls or 4 coaching videos that will be on there. There will be 4 exclusive coaching videos for you. There will be live streaming sessions, and then there will also be the manifestation stories, which are also an addition to the 4 courses, or 4 video courses. The 4 video courses are 4 coaching calls. That's what I like to call them. They're 4 coaching calls. Why I call them coaching calls is because they're just a little bit shorter than a course, but they focus on an actual like area of life. So it would work on a certain area of life. It is like a mini course if you like to see it that way. So all of that is actually written out and laid out in the memberships if you want to go there and check that out. But this was just a little video talking about time poverty. So you're not time poor, you have plenty of time, and time is on your side. You decide what time you have and how much time you get to spend doing things and how you do it. You don't ever have to be rushed in life. Life is here for you. Life is waiting on you. Life is you. Life is happening through you. So you decide. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. And so thank you so much for watching. Please check back. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe down below if you like these videos and want to see some more. Thank you so much. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's day.